All right, folks, we are live. Yay! I got my thumbs. I'm over here tuning in. I'm over here live on the on Facebook Live, and for those of you that are going, in case you'll miss this, I'll have everything posted on my YouTube channel and everything. So, yeah. So fret not. All's not lost. All right. Where do I begin? Well, this has always been since 2012. It's always a little bit of a tradition that we do on Thanksgiving weekend, WrestleCade, which is a big wrestling convention founded by Tracy Myers and Brian Hawks in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And up until last year when COVID happened, and so everything had to be shut down, and we all had to be cocooned here. I've only been to this year was my fourth WrestleCade, believe it or not, and I've been to the 16. Unfortunately, I missed the 17, 2018, 19, and the 2021 WrestleCade. And let me tell you, it was a blast. I had a blast, and it was so nice seeing my wrestling family once again. So nice meeting new friends. So nice doing what we do best, and that's put our differences aside and focus on the number one thing that we love, and that's the love for professional wrestling. And just mean the superstars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Who would have thought that a car salesman, a car dealership owner, would have a vision and transform it into a reality? It's basically like the Disneyland of wrestling conventions. I know we have WrestleCon, it's basically the Disney World. I think it's a little bigger than that based on what I've been hearing. WrestleCon happens at the city on the weekend of WrestleMania, WWE's WrestleMania. But based on it, since I can't go to WrestleMania, WrestleMania's coming to me, in other words. So that was something right there. All right, enough of me rambling. Let's get into this. Yeah, it certainly lived up to the hype. I just had a blast. I mean, I can't complain. I'd had a couple of major hiccup here, but let's get that out of the way first. There were these two wrestlers in WWE back in 2009. They were having a big match, and the wrestlers of which I speak are Aleister Black, now known as Mad Clive Black, and Buddy Murphy, known as Buddy Matthews. They announced a week or two prior to the event, that there was going to be an in-ring opportunity for the two of them. I tried to find my ticket on my phone, but unfortunately it got lost in the shuffle somehow, and I didn't find it until it was too late. I was really mad. All that money down the drain. Oh my goodness. But then my buddy Tyvan Cannie, big special shout goes out to Tyvan Cannie in case he's tuning in. He said that there was a special meet and greet for Undertaker and Kane, the Brothers of Destruction, in Virginia, but unfortunately, they canceled, and unfortunately, he never got his refund. So that was even bigger money down the drain. So he felt my pain right over there. And so whenever I'm having a bad day, wasting money like that, I'll remember that story. But now that bad news is out of the way, let's get into it right here, right now. And Friday, we signed in, got everything signed in. I purchased one of the VIPs, and a good friend of mine, Tyvan Cannie, we basically tag team. We worked together as a team, and we immediately became fast friends. And back in 2018, when I was cosplaying my Andy Kaufman, we kept butting heads on that year, and we immediately became fast friends. And so we were chatting back and forth. And let me tell you, it's best. I've been told sometime in life, and time and time again, it's the best to keep your circle small. You know what I mean? Because if you keep your circle small and focus on those that lift you up, then you'll go far. And now more than ever, true words have never been spoken. And from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank him enough for being a loyal friend. And so I owe you some thanks to that. And big special shout out. He didn't have to rent the two of us to rent us a hotel room, but I'm so glad that from the goodness of his heart that he did. And we used the bartering system. I'm not familiar with the bartering. I wasn't familiar with the bartering system at all. Still not familiar with it. But he taught me what it was. And so So yeah, with the help of the bartering system, I really learned a lot from him. And over the bartering system, I really learned a lot from him. And so so that's one of the many reasons that to keep your circle small. I have a few friends. I may have like tons and tons of friends, especially on my Facebook channel and on my Facebook page. But it's even better to keep in touch with those that will lift you up. You know what I mean? Keep your circle small. You put a smile on your face. You know what I mean? And let all the toxic people lock them out. You know what I mean? But anyway, we check into our hotel room, and I got a little lost over there because he was backed up in traffic, and he not sure if he's not. We got a little bit discombobulated because he was stuck in traffic, and so I didn't know where to put my luggage. But yeah, Nandi Bryan, Dr. Pellion, what's going on, buddy? My homeboy. I played some of your tunes earlier today. Played this over here, the an acapellian Christmas. Yeah, that's another reason to keep your circle small. So that's a major example right there. All right. So the very first event of WrestleCade, which was covered for the VIP, was Nandi Bryant says, "What's up, my acapellian brother?" And he sent me a whole bunch of hearts. Oh my goodness, that really made my night. And the very first event was the Vicky Guerrero Show. And it's hosted by Vicky Guerrero. It was a talk show. It was a podcast. And her talk show, get this, it's called "Excuse Me." That's her major catchphrase. And she told me how it came to be. And she is the widow of the late great Eddie Guerrero. And she taught us how it came to be. She said that she was working as an on-air personality, and she was a former GM a co-GM of the SmackDown brand of WWE, and she had a bunch of lines that got lost in the shuffle, and so she improvised with "Excuse me," and so the rest was history. And so yeah, she was a very sweet lady, Vicky Guerrero, and we need more people like her. I mean, it's kind of funny that many of the faces, or the good guys, if you would, in pro wrestling ended up with big egos. Take a look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's one of them. I hate to bring him up, but yeah. But however, some of the heels, which is Wrestling Talk for Bad Guy, ended up being the nice people, and Vicky Guerrero is she has a huge, she was so sweet. Oh my goodness. And some of the guests that she had on her show was Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, and I just love him. He said how he got into pro wrestling, and his very close friend Matt Cardona, formerly known as WWE superstar Zack Ryder. And the big thing about him is he's into action figures. His action figures what got him into professional wrestling in the first place. And with him working in WWE for nearly 20 years, he decided to go a different route with his career. And he said that I forgot what the name of the wrestling school is, but he founded a wrestling school in Long Island. He's from Long Island, and so he's been doing fine with life after WWE. Same goes with his buddy Matt, his longtime partner in crime, Matt Cardona. And darn it, I forgot her other guest. Oh my goodness, my mind's drawing a blank over here. But I'm pretty sure it'll come to me once I think of it. But Izzy, superfan Izzy, was there. She was best known for hugging Bailey, and her she's been making appearances here and there. She's a backstage interviewer for this women's promotion called Wow, and she and her parents were there, and they were absolutely sweet. All three were absolutely sweet, and I can see in her eyes that she's got what it takes to make it in the business, and she's got what it takes to become a Hall of Famer. She's going to be inducted in so many Hall of Fames, WWE Hall of Fame, the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, and all different Hall of Fames. And like I said, I can see in her eyes she has what it takes right there. And I asked her what she thought of NXT 2.0, and she says that she loves it. She absolutely loves where it's gonna. She loves seeing where this direction is gonna take her, and especially Braun Breaker, aka Rex Steiner, the son of Rick Steiner and the nephew of Scott Steiner. As of the time of this broadcast, he's an NXT 2.0 standout, and Vicky Guerrero still keeps in touch with Celeste Bonin, formerly known as Caitlyn. In fact, she was her WWE Pro while Caitlyn was the NXT rookie. This was back when NXT was first formed, when it became a reality competition called like a Double Dare, if you would. You know what I mean? But they still keep in touch, and I was cracking jokes about it. You might as well go ahead and bring in Slime, bring in Mark Summers, et cetera, et cetera. I said the same thing with Celeste Bonin 2 years ago when she appeared in at WrestleCade, and so yeah, it was. And they had a Q&A afterwards, after the in the middle of the show. Mick Foley was the major guest, and he talked about his one-man show and his appearances, and they had a Q&A, and the thing that brought up the most was the infamous spot from King of the Ring 1998, the Hell in the Cell match against The Undertaker, and the rest was history. Apparently he came on last because he was running late because he had some travel issues, and I forgot her other guest. She had another guest on there, but I'm drawing a blank right now, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come to it later on in the broadcast. But anyway, after that, we had some other photo ops over there. And looking at my photo album over there, we had my first stops were Sergeant Slaughter and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, both of whom live in North Carolina as of this broadcast. And both of whom were on my pre-sale list, and I made a pre-sale list, and it was a little bit disorganized, but I still got the ones that I wanted for sure. And Showcase of Champions was next. It was a wrestling show where pro wrestling champions all over the world, all over the United States, put their titles on the line, and well, it is exactly what it said, Showcase of Champions. I also want to direct your attention to the main event, because this really meant a lot to me as a black man, you know what I mean? But the post I made, it said, quote, "This is the first. As a black man, I couldn't be any prouder, because for the first time in wrestling history, as far as I know, 6 black men, all of whom are current champion holders as of the time of the photo, main evented a wrestling show, and it all took place at WrestleCade. And those champions, the names of the champions, I've been keeping up with AML. I've been keeping up with Ring of Honor, and there are some promotions that I'm not too familiar with, but this photo, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. However, true words have never been spoken. But now more than ever, true words have never been spoken, because, yeah, if you look at it, those are Caprice Coleman, the Infinite Man Tim, and Zuka King. I think all of whom are, at some point, are affiliated with AML Wrestling, which was co-founded by Tracy Myers, by the way. And then we had Shane Taylor Promotions, which features Shane Taylor and his henchmen, Khan and Moses. And Tyvan Cannie, he says, "I see you're sporting the Spirit Squad over there. Got my pom-poms and everything." Unfortunately, I left my megaphone. But yeah. All right. And we also had, after Showcase of Champions, but before we get into the next portion of things, let's get into the results here. OVW Rush Division Champion Gustavo defeated Kobe Carino. Then we had NGW Heavyweight Champion Matt Cross defeated Hayden Sade. And by the way, Davey Richards was the other guest on Vicky Guerrero's show. And he was talking about his life after wrestling and why he's been gone for so long. He became a paramedic and became a firefighter. And so the old saying goes is not all superheroes wear capes. Some wear wrestling gear, and some wear firefighter gear. And so for that, I thank you for your service, Davey Richards. In case you're watching. So he's got something to fall back on should wrestling fall through. God forbid. But yeah, he's going far. He's staying at AML Wrestling, Major League Wrestling, as far as I know. So I gotta give props right there. I gotta tip my hat to the Lone Wolf, and let me tell you, the American Wolves, one of the best tag teams around, especially with Ring of Honor. I love the Rung and Ring of Honor, and Dave Richards said so himself that his least favorite was him feuding with his former partner Eddie Edwards, especially at Final Battle. I think they faced off in Final Battle, but I could be wrong. Anyway, next match, Savannah Evans and Battle Club Pro franchise champion Mike Drake defeated Dream Girl Ellie and Battle Club Pro champion 5 points champion Steve Pena and PWF undisputed champion Bojack. Bojack, there's something about him that really stands out. He defeated JD Drake. Viral Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Sean Leggett, Anthony Henry, formerly known as Astro Hale in NXT. ASW Champion, Heavyweight Champion Davey Richards defeated Axton Ray. Unfortunately, he was supposed to be facing off against Brian Myers, but unfortunately, he just got back. He just got out of quarantine. He had COVID, and he just got out of quarantine, and so he wasn't medically cleared to compete. Which explains why he was not medically cleared to compete on Impact the week prior. So there's that. Kinsey Page won a 3-way over Jordan Grace and Kai Lynn. I was cheering for Jordan Grace all the way too because that's my girl right there. She's the Impact Wrestling Digital Champion. I'm not sure what it stands for, but yeah, and we already talked about this. The main event, Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions Shane Taylor, Khan, and Moses, which are Shane Taylor Promotions, defeated Caprice Komazuka King and the Infinite Man Tim. Like I said, 6 black men, all of whom are champions of some kind in various promotions. Main event wrestling show, and so that makes me proud right there. This puts a smile on my face. Like I said, I got a little choked up in there because I don't think this has ever happened in wrestling before, unless I'm mistaken, which I doubt it. And there was an after party, and that's where the bartering system came into play, and I had to pay for my room, for my half of the room, and so I got the Johnny Swinger Palace. The after party, the Swingerellas were there, and Alicia Edwards was there. Impact Wrestling's Alicia Edwards was there. Who else was there? Wrestling legend Action Mike Jackson was there, and we didn't stay long because we had a long day ahead of us, which was Fan Fest. That was the meat and potatoes of WrestleCade, and this is where my ensemble comes into play. And I ran into some interesting people and some well-known people in the wrestling business, including Dave Wills. He was best known for his phrase, "It's still real to me, damn it!" And he's a really cool dude. Let me tell you, very chill, very laid back, and yeah. Back in the early to mid 2000s, he was thanking everybody. There was like this Q&A session, and he got really choked up, and his love for professional wrestling and his love for those that put their bodies on the line day in and day out, and he got choked up. He's like, "It's still real to me, damn it." That was the promo heard around the world. I guess you could say he was the original crying fan right there. So yeah. Saturday was Fan Fest, which was the actual festival itself, and we had to get there as early as possible. And there was a special meet and greet line for Sting, but due to the high demand of Sting, he had to be in a separate room. And there was let me tell you, there was a long line, but you know what? It was all worth it here. And Sting was very laid back, very chill, and we, although because the line was long, we didn't have time to chat long. And I did my Tony Schiavone impression. It was like, it's Sting! It was like, yeah, Tony Schiavone was a very laid back dude, and he loved my impression. And got his picture. She'll be in soon. But I got some photos of it. I got Wolfpack Sting, got Surfer Sting, I got the Crow Sting, and then that was it. And looking at the photos here, I know the photos are out of order all over my social media, but yeah, one of the first stops I made was Eric Redbeard, formerly known as Eric Rowan. He was part of the Wyatt family in WWE, and I'd had to do this because he was associated with Luke Harper, whose real name was John Huber, and he was also known as Brody Lee outside of WWE. Yeah, so I had to get him, and let me tell you, not only was I wearing my Spirit Squad gear, I was wearing the 24/7 championship. And people were making threats saying that, I'm coming for that title, I'm coming for that 24/7. Where's the ref? Where's the ref? But yeah, one of my first thoughts was I had to get Eric Redbeard because of John Uber, a.k.a. Brody Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper. And Braun Strowman was there. Adam Scherr was there, so I had to get him as well. And he was also a North Carolina boy, and that's the thing. I had to get as many North Carolina people as much as possible here, whether they are born and bred, reside, or build, you know what I mean? And I got Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, aka Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, respectively. And next we have let's see here, who else I got? Everybody representing Team Demon Bunny, which are Chelsea Green. Hey, David Smith, what's going on, buddy? Which are Chelsea Green. They all love my Spirit Squad gear. And, yeah, Chelsea Green, Andrew Everett, who was also a North Carolina boy, Crazy Steve, Rosemary, both of whom are from Decay, and Allie. And by the way, I just want to thank Team Demon Bunny for featuring me in one of their collages. And I want to thank, I think either WrestleCade or Johnny Swinger for featuring me in his promo of the Swinger Palace. And I find this hard to believe, but I'm a local celebrity already. I'm famous already, as if I'm not as famous as I am now. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. And then I had to get this one over here. This was one of a kind. They were the very first women who wrestled at the very first WrestleMania. I'm talking about Leilani Kai and Wendy Richter. And it was such a blessing seeing them. It was just so surreal. And here's a lady that's been dominating the women's division for the longest time, ever since I saw her debut with Eminem with Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury. I'm talking about the one, the only, Melina. And she's still knocking it out of the park at NWA. She's a really sweet woman. Another pair of sweet ladies that I saw were the Inspiration, formerly known in WWE as the Iconics, Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee, a.k.a. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce in WWE. Unfortunately, they were masked up, so I couldn't get too close to them. But I got a photo and a shirt. It's going to be making an appearance sometime soon. Much like Melina, this lady over here has been making a name for herself, both in Impact Wrestling and WWE. I'm talking about the one and only Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer, Gail Kim. WrestleCade's been struggling to get her for the longest time, and finally they made it happen, and I'm really thankful for that. And Lisa Marie Verone, a.k.a. Victoria in WWE, a.k.a. Tara in Impact Wrestling. She has a wrestling. She has a podcast, and as of today, she just had a Johnny from the Spirit Squad. And so that's coincidental. I'm wearing my Spirit Squad outfit right now, and she had Johnny from the Spirit Squad. It's GAW, GAW. That's the name of her podcast, and occasionally SoCal Val and Mickie James make appearances. Mickie James was there, but unfortunately I didn't get an autograph, and I just thanked her for knocking it out of the park. And this is another example of why Tyvan Cannie is a real good friend of mine, and he's very loyal to me and we both lift each other up when things are down, and we just love conversations. And we decided whenever there's tag teams, we get photo ops together, because there are some photo ops that allow you to have one additional person, and so that those one additional people that we have over here, we're each other. He wanted to get the Good Brothers, so he got him presents. And by the way, I got a real interesting story I want to tell you about how him making piñatas came to be. But I just got to remind myself there. We came up with the name. It's either the WrestleCade Warriors or WrestleCade's Greatest Tag Team. They'll play the Road Warriors, aka Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, and wrestling over the World's Greatest Tag Team, Troy House and Shelton Benjamin. He wanted to get the Good Brothers and a special Legion of Doom, Paul Ellering photo op, and so we got FTR. They're both, by the way, are from Asheville, North Carolina. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, formerly known as Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the Revival. They're the very first WWE Triple Crown Tag Team Champions, having held the NXT Tag Team Championship, the Raw Tag Team Championship, and the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. And they're still knocking it out of the park. And as far as I know, as of the time of this broadcast, they're the AAA Tag Team Champions in Mexico. I consider her the Marilyn Monroe of WWE because of her beauty, of her looks, and how she was a blonde and just lights up the room every single time, lights up the arena every single time she graces her presence. I'm talking about Barbie Blank, known as Kelly Kelly in WWE. And this is the third time I'm meeting her, so there's no way I was going to let this pass by. And, of course, they've been having a perfect attendance at WrestleCade, as far as I know. Those are WWE Hall of Famers, Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express. I just can't get enough of their theme song. Then, of course, there's my girl Amber Nova. You know what? There's something about her that really stands out. I'm not sure if it's her love for cars or the fact that she's a mechanic, paramedic. There's something about her that really stands out. She has the it factor, but I can't put my finger on why she stands out. But she did make a couple of appearances on both NXT and Impact Wrestling, and so yeah, there's something that really stood out. I've bought more merch from her than any other wrestler that I've bought merch from. But like I said, she's one of those people that has the it factor, but you can't put your finger on what it is. So yeah. And the biggest of them all, the meat and potatoes, Kurt Angle and Kane, both of whom are WWE Hall of Famers. And I started singing the I Don't Suck, the song from the album WWE Originals. And Kane was all masked up. He is the current mayor of Knox County, Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane. And, oh my goodness. Then there was another big one who's knocking it out of the park. Malachi Black, known as Alistair Black, a.k.a. Tommy End. So, yeah, I got Money Inc., which consisted of WWE Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase, IRS, and Virgil. Yeah, I got Brian Myers. Nikita Koloff. There's something special about Nikita Koloff because he and my pops know each other through each other's ministries. And my pops, I think his ministry is called Walking and Talking Ministry. It's a play on talk the talk and walk the walk. He hosts this podcast called Man Talk. Sorry for the little plug over there. And Nikita Koloff he has this radio show called Man Up. I might want to check those out. So yeah, I'm thinking about every time I play Retromania Wrestling, which is basically the true sequel to the 1991 arcade game WWF WrestleFest. Every time I see Nikita Koloff, in fact, I'm probably going to consider him holding the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Every time I see him, I'll think about my pops. So yeah. And we had WrestleCade Showdown, the Super Show, excuse me. They had some technical difficulties in the beginning because the mic keeps coming on and off. But here's the results as far as I know. And yeah. Rock and Roll Express defeated the Blondes of Bollywood, formerly known as the Bollywood Boys, known as the Singh Brothers in WWE. Emil Chapman Caprice Coleman defeated Dirty Dango, a.k.a. Fondongo. Six-man tag team match, excuse me. Martin Reed, Rich Long, and Tim defeated Andrew Everett, Matt Cross, and Colby Carino. PCO defeated Eric Redbeard. And let me tell you, PCO, he's known as the French Frankenstein. And I saw him in action in Ring of Honor, and oh my goodness, this guy's dangerous. He puts his body on the line. He's basically like Mick Foley. And there was a special appearance from Mick Foley. He wanted me doing a cheer and everything. So yeah, there was a special appearance. I didn't get a photo off or any autographs or anything, but one of the vendors wanted me to wanted Mick Foley in the video. So yeah. George South defeated Heath. I love them going back and forth during the match with the exchange of their words. Because Heath Slater had this thing called "I Have Kids," and George South's like, "I got grandkids." This is so hilarious. Then Black Machismo, Jay Lethal with Lady Frost. They defeated Matt Cardona, and there was a special appearance for Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett went El Kabonga on Matt Cardona, and during the match, Jay Lethal in mid-match, they were going outside and they were beating each other up, and Matt Cardona basically kicked him off the ramp and out of the towards the back, and he was going just when he was getting ready for the count out. He comes in as Black Machismo, which is a spin-off of Macho Man Randy Savage, and he mistaken Lady Frost for Miss Elizabeth. And there was a top rope belts battle royale. Shane Taylor was declared the winner, and the other participants were Johnny Swinger, Mr. Hughes, Shane Douglas, Moses, Falaba, Action Mike Jackson, Zuka King, Davey Richards, Marcus Cross, Jackie Hines, Kerry Morton, Cyrus, Brad Attitude, Eric Royal, Blanco Loco, Axton Ray, Gustavo, Big Con, Vic, and Griff Garrison. And there was a special appearance from Swoggle, a.k.a. Hornswoggle. And there was a special tribute to New Jack with C.W. Anderson. And so that was very thoughtful of them. Broken Matt Hardy. Yeah, Matt Hardy was there. I was trying to get him, but unfortunately, we're out of time. Broken Matt Hardy defeated Enzo, formerly known as Enzo Amore. And, oh my goodness, Enzo coming out to Dean Martin's "That's Amore." That's Amore. And man, they're going back and forth and before the match and exchanging their words. And every time he was like the whole keyboard reference. There's more button on the keyboard. : delete, comma, delete, period, delete, QWERTY, delete. He didn't say QWERTY, but I just threw that in there. He should have said that though. But anyway, so yeah, we all know what happens next. And then there was a special podcast show with Mark Henry, and there was something right there. And Matt Hardy was a special guest. Danhausen was a special guest. And let me tell you, Danhausen, he always puts a smile on his face. He's special with a time like this. I first saw him in action in Ring of Honor right before the lockdown. And he puts a smile on his face. He's very unique. He's good and evil at the same time. that's the best way to put it. But anyway, they had that, and I just had to get a photo op with him. And I met his wife. His wife is so sweet, and we started talking about his final project with WWE, and that was WWE's Most Wanted Treasures. And Andre the Giant was so near and dear to him, and his wife was saying that their daughter was obsessed with Big Show, and they stopped watching the Big Show on Netflix, and Big Show, aka Paul White, was accompanying Mark Henry on finding those lost treasures of Andre the Giant, and it was so emotional. It was an emotional roller coaster ride. But yeah, my goodness, and yeah. So the final night was was Ladies' Night Out. But before that, there was a special reunion panel for the early years of TNA, and Jeff Jarrett was there, D'Lo Brown, Goldilocks, AMW, America's Most Wanted, which is Cowboy James Storm, Wildcat Chris Harris. It's been a while since we've seen Wildcat Chris Harris. I'm so happy that he's come back, and Johnny Swinger was there. I forgot who the promoter was. It's Bill somebody, but somebody helped me out there. But yeah, it was surreal. Then we had Ladies' Night Out, and before that there was a special photo op. And if I can scroll over there, Earl Hebner was there. I had to take a photo with him, and I had to take a picture with Danhausen. Danhausen was there all 3 nights. He was scheduled to be in action, but unfortunately he got injured, so he couldn't take part of that. Thunder Rosa was there. She was pretty popular. Her line was really long at the day prior, which was the Fan Fest. But I got a chance to. She wanted me to do a cheer using her name, but I was a little nervous out there. I didn't know I was the Johnny on the Spot. I had a feeling I was going to be a Johnny on the Spot, but yeah, Lady Frost was there. I had to get her. And another Carolina girl, Savannah Evans. She's part of Impact Wrestling now, but I did see her over at Queens of Combat. I think Ladies' Night Out is basically an alternative of Queens of Combat, but I could be wrong. This is one of the biggest receptions that I've gotten on any post that I've ever posted, and I've been a big fan of Jordan Grace for the longest time. I brought a lot of merch from ring-worn gear to 8x10s and everything else, and I had to get the Hex as well. Marty Bell and Allison Kay, they're the recently revived. They won the recently revived NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on them. And once again, I want to thank Team Demon Blade for putting me in their collage. It's me. So I guess that's it for the photo ops, and then they had Ladies' Night Out, and that was it. And after which was the day after for AML Wrestling. So yeah. Another thing, before I forget, I just wanted to say that because this outfit got so over, I decided to go to reprise this role a few more times, and AEW is going to be doing 3 shows within the next month or two, and going on 27, which brings us to this on December 22nd. There's going to be no Captain's World, because they're, for the first time ever, AEW is coming to the Greensboro Coliseum, and I'm going to be a Spirit Squad member, except these CDs, for those of you that are on Facebook Live, CDs, these are going to be these aren't going to be green, they're going to be the AEW color scheme, so I'm planning on doing that. And as far as I know, you are allowed to cosplay, even if the wrestlers never touched AEW soil, unlike certain companies that dictate and micromanage everything, including what the fans wear, which doesn't make any sense at all, because I've been hearing that even if they're part of the company, you can't cosplay. They teach you what to wear, what not to wear, what to bring, what not to bring, what to say, what not to say. It just feels, everything just feels micromanaged over there. But here on AEW, it's a lot of freedom. It's a whole lot more laid back, a whole lot more lenient. I mean, WWE will go as far as confiscating fan signs. They have the right to confiscate fan signs, but which makes no sense. Now I can imagine if it's something vulgar or something racist or anything like that. You know what I mean? That I can live with, but just cracking a simple joke, man, that doesn't make any sense. As far as I know, AEW doesn't allow any anti-WWE signs either, so I think they do have the right to confiscate it, which I think I can live with. But based on what I've been hearing, you are allowed to cosplay at AEW events. I'm going to be dressed up as a Spirit Squad member, but with the AEW color scheme. They're going to be coming in Greensboro and later on this month, and in January they're going to be in Raleigh, and then there's going to be another one in Charlotte. There's going to be Battle of the Belts is one of the pay-per-views. I'm not sure if one is one of the events. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be a pay-per-view or whether it's going to be in Charlotte or it's going to be in Raleigh. But I am indeed making plans of being there, and I'm making plans to reprise the Spirit Squad role if they allow it. But anyway, another thing I want to talk about is my boy Tyvan Cannie. He's a huge fan of making piñatas, and the whole thing that came to be is that he brought a piñata to this party, and I'm not sure if he brought a piñata to the party, but there was a piñata. A lot of kids were missing hitting the piñata, and then this older guy, he like Babe Ruth'd it out of the park, and it was like completely shattered, and the kids were crying, kids were upset, and Tyvan Cannie ended up throwing away. And then one day he was watching this movie, Parenthood, and there was this one scene that they were trying to hit the piñata, but the piñata wouldn't bust open, and that gave him an aha idea. Had an aha moment. It's like, what if he could make it indestructible? And so he did some research and saw how piñatas were made, and so he decided to make one himself, to make piñatas himself and give it to people as gifts, and see if people can try their best to try to bust it open. And so the rest was history. And ever since I met him at the 2018 WrestleCade, I think he's been doing piñatas then, but he's been giving piñatas to various wrestlers. I know he's given piñatas to Kane, Kurt Angle, Matt Cardona. He's a huge Matt Cardona's a Ghostbusters fan. He's done one for Barry Horowitz, which was a wrestler from WCW and WWE. What other piñata did he make? I forgot. There are some others that I forgot, but he's got piñata. I remember the Dark Order. He's made one for 10, and so 10 told Cannie. He said that be on the lookout for the piñata to make an appearance, whether on Dynamite or on or Rampage or Dark Elevation, and if not, he'll give it to -1, aka Brody Lee Jr., John Uber, aka Brody Lee's son. So that was very thoughtful for him, and he went the extra mile. He went to the nth degree on this one. He made a piñata for me. He knows that I'm a Nickelodeon fan, and so on the front it had Nickelodeon Nick Jr., and on the back of it had Nick at Night and Snick. He knows I'm a huge fan of Nickelodeon, and so yeah. And from the bottom of my heart, Cannie, I thank you very much for the piñatas. I'm going to treasure them forever. There's no way that I'm going to be using this for candy, using this for any party of any kind. This one here is a collector's item, and people have been saying, "Hey, y'all, you should do make it like a side hustle of this. You should start selling these." And his only response to that, more on that later, more to come, basically, and. Well, the rest is history. How his piñata making came to be, and so yeah. One of the big lessons that I've learned over the weekend, and I've been seeing people bring this up, whether it's on Mark Henry's show or Vicky Guerrero's show is that this COVID lockdown and the pandemic and social distancing and everything, these shutdowns, lockdowns, as wrestling fans, this brought us closer together than ever before. There's like an old saying that goes like, the farther apart we are, the closer together we are. I'm not sure if it's the right one, or those are the right words. I'm not sure if it's the exact quote, but now more than ever, wrestling's brought us closer together than ever before. I mean, when it comes to conventions like these, we focus on the things that we love. I mean, how in the world can we focus on the things that we hate if we focus on the things that we love and we drain our energy on the things that we hate? You know what I mean? I mean, we as wrestling fans and getting into wrestling, the wrestling community, we're never going to agree on everything. That's a given right there. But when it comes to focus on the things that we love, that brings us tighter together than ever before. And we need it. It's like with COVID lockdown and all the major companies shutting down, and with Ring of Honor shutting down, and still paying the talent, and WrestleMania and AEW continuing the best we can. We're like, we got to take our minds off this situation. We got to take our minds off this negativity over here, because, of course, we've seen the results of the past couple of years they've been absolutely cruel to us. But we're like, we still got to take our minds off this, and watching wrestling has been our comfort food, so to speak, and that brought us together closer together than ever before. And true words had never been spoken when it came to that, because we just have a simple conversation about wrestling and focusing on the things that we love, and it just Brody Lee, this really brought even more positivity over there. We just positive vibes. And I mean, I know I'm talking New Day talk here, but it's the power of positivity that compels us, that keeps us going, and the love of wrestling and us being reunited in person this year. It just helped even better. You know what I mean? And keeping our circles as small as possible. That in itself is so powerful. And I want to thank my boy Tyvan Cannie, the Tyvillian. I want to thank Rose Stegall, and I also want to thank my boy Nick Joyner for always being there for me, and my boy the acapella Namdi Bryant, whose music I just played a few hours ago. So yeah, and this just brought a lot of joy. Danhausen, he brought smiles to our faces, and he eliminated, what is one of the many reasons why I do. If you've been seeing me on Facebook and Twitter, it feels something like I'm going to eliminate all the negativity going on by posting the things that make me happy, mainly from my childhood. One photo a day, I say, that sort of thing. That takes our minds off this negativity over here, as well as this music that I've been playing all night. It just makes us happy. It's like, just like Bobby McFerrin, don't worry, be happy. Woo!